I'd like to show you tonight, what I'd like to show you tonight is around the classroom so that you can just fully understand how it all looks and what are the main things that you need to look at. So welcome to Religion Studies. I want to just give you a bit of background. So this is the classroom. I'm going to show it to you now. It is recording. Can I ask you, can everyone see my screen when I do this? Yes? Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to do religion studies. So let me just show you. En as daar iemand is van die Afrikaanse klas, ek gaan vir julle hele klas ook wys. Want ek gee nie die klas in religiestudies nie. Ellen Jensen doen dit. Maar hierdie week is net vir hoe sê mens, net vir die introduction to inleiding, okay, to religion studies. Now here is a video. Now Afrikaans learners, you are not in this class. Let's just see if the learners are coming in. There we go. Okay, Candace, do you still have a question or did you raise your hand to tell me you could hear me? Okay, Candace is back in. Candace, is everything okay? You got a question? If you don't have a question, just click on the hand again so that it lowers your hand because it's raised now as if you want to ask a question. Let me just change the layout. Okay, that should be a little bit bigger for you guys. Right. Now, Afrikaans learners, yours will be slightly different. So this video might not be the same for you also. But there is something that you need to look at that I'm going to teach all of you. The Afrikaans leerders work. It's very important to know the structure of the paper. Now, don't worry with this first one. This is for the current students who are writing a mock exam. They started in August already, and they're practicing to write an exam. Okay. Now, this year is very important. But first, let me show you Introduction to Religion Studies. Okay. Nou vir die Afrikaanse leerders, ek gaan gou, let me get the link. And then I'm going to open up your classroom. Duplicate. Ek gaan gou julle klaskamer oopmaak. En dan gaan ek hierdie ding ook daar oplaai. Sodat julle dit ook kan kyk, né? Is 'n baie belangrike, laat ek dit gou net hier sit. Daar sê. En ons gaan 'n bietjie van hierdie kyk. Ek het dit die in Julie maand al opgelaai. Want ek gee religiestudies in Engels en Ellen doen dit in Afrikaans. So hier is Introduction to Religion Studies. Okay, so I'm going to just open it quickly. You're not going to be able to hear sound, but that's okay. I just want to take you through what I showed everybody, okay? Okay, wait. Okay, I see now. Let me do this. This is religion. It's basically explaining this document. Okay, so I'm going to just open it quickly. You're not going to be able to hear sound, but that's okay. I just want to take you through what I showed everybody, okay? Okay, wait. Okay, I see now. Let me do this. This is religion. It's basically explaining this document. It's Okay. It's basically explaining this document, and I'm going to go through it with you now. Okay. So religion studies is all around different religions. Okay. It is not biblical studies. It's not like when we were at school, when I was at school, that it is. Let me just see here. I just want to make sure nobody wants to come into class that I don't know of. So I'm watching the WhatsApps. So what happens? Give me a second. Okay. Can you guys speak softer? Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. So it is different religions, African traditional, Hinduism, Buddhism, Baha'i faith, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Taoism. Now, the ones we focus on the most is the African traditional religion, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. The rest, we answer questions, but mainly in section A. I'm going to show you what I mean by section A. All right? Let me just carry on and then I'll come back to section A. So paper 1 is 3 hours and it's out of 150 marks. There are 3 questions, 1 compulsory question, which is short questions, and I'll show you a paper now. Okay, so like in all classes, let me just duplicate the tab. Right, like in all classes, you can go get past papers here. Let me just show you under textbooks or under resources. Resources, textbooks, study guides, past papers. And we're going to open a section now, a past paper. We're going to look for religion studies. Guys, if at any stage I lose connection, please let me know, because like I said, I am using data tonight and not Wi-Fi. Let me know on WhatsApp even. Okay, so here's a religion studies paper 1. I'm going to open a paper 1 so you can see and get a feel of it. How do I close? Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. 150 marks, 2 hours. Now, you have a section 1. Section 1 is multiple choice, match the columns, 1-word answers. You can see the multiple choice. Sorry. And all of this. Here's 1-word answers that's missing. Okay, fill in the missing word. Then match the columns. And this one is a set, like, yeah, red, yellow, blue, and circle. What is the odd one out? It's a circle. Why? Because the other 3 are colors. Or you can say the circle is a shape or something like that, right? Now you need to spot the odd one out and say why in these questions. Okay. You thought the game of spot the difference was over. Okay. Right. So then you must state whether true or false. And if it's false, you must give a reason. All right. Now, if you look at all of this, and then this is the last 2 facts. If you look at these, section A, it has all the religions in it, right? And the only way you are going to be able to know the answers to these is by practicing at least, I said 10 of them, but you can practice 5 of them. because they repeat the questions, right? Now, someone asked me the other day after they wrote this paper in like a mock exam, they said, but miss, they asking about Hinduism, asking about all this. Must I? You said we're only going to concentrate on a few. Now, why must I do those? Because section 1, section A, will have all the religions. Okay. So the only way, if you're not going to study all the religions, the only way is to practice a few past papers, because they repeat their questions from time to time, and then you will be able to answer a section A. Okay. Any questions on that? So, can I see a thumbs up? Everything's still okay? Network still okay? Everybody can hear and see. Thank you very much, Sandali and Samira, everyone. Right. So now let's go back here. Okay. Now in paper 1, you have 2 out of 3 or 4 questions. Now I want to explain this to you. Let's just see here. Okay, this is the English one. If you go up to right at the top, it says topic overview of papers 1 and 2. Right? I'm going to open up this document. This is critical that you know this. By the way, I explained this document in this video. So please go watch this video first. Okay? Please watch this video first. Live class topic overview, paper 1 and paper 2. The reason I say go and read that paper first, that document first, is because of this. So that you can know what choices you have. Okay. If you look at all the topics in paper 1, I don't know why this goes up like that all the time. And I don't have it here on this computer. So when you do all the topics, paper 1, sorry, come on. I'm just going to 4 or 5 questions, answer 2. You must only answer 2 questions. So now you've done section A, which is all the topics. See here on the left in the blue. Section A is all the topics, multiple choice compulsory. Now look to the right of paper 1, the blue writing. It says in paper 1, you're going to have 4 or 5 questions after section A. So section B is going to have 4 or 5 questions. You must answer 2 of the 5. And here's the topics, right? Topic 1 is study guide book 1. I'm going to show you that. And it's about uniqueness, religious teachings, all of that. Topic 2 is study guide book 5. It is about religion, religious freedom, human rights, and responsibilities. Topic 3 is the media. That you need to watch the news, that you need to read newspapers. If you love the media, answer this question. But I can honestly tell you very little students answers that question because they don't watch the news. So cut it out, right? Topic number 4 is all about conflict. Conflict in the Middle East. Conflict in Rwanda. Conflict in what's this other place? Nigeria, right? Conflict. And so how does religion, how is religion part of the conflict problem, and how can they be part of the solution? Look at Palestine today. I'm convinced that in one paper, whether it be this year or next year, they're going to speak about the Palestine debacle in conflict because it's in the news at the moment. And then you're going to look at how is religion a part of the problem. And if we look at the Palestine debacle now, Israel, who's Judaism mainly, and Islam or Palestine, but the Arab countries, which is the Islam, and it's that conflict between Judaism and or Christians, because people think that Judaism is all Christians, but that's not true. And so it's that kind of topic. And then the last one is social issues. I'll come to you now about this. I'm still looking for a book for this, but it's a small section. It's only one question. So now be guided by this. There's book 1, book 5, book 3. What am I talking about with these books? Yeah, let me show you. Study guides. If you're going to print out anything, please print out. So it is, what did I say now? It was study guide 1, 3, and 5. So let's go view material. We can see it in a bigger fashion. Then this one is, where's number 1? Here's number 1. There's number 3. And there's number 5. So if you click on number 1, this study guide gives you the background and the stuff that you must study for this topic here. Right? Uniqueness, various religions, religious teachings. Then that's that one. And you can see here, let me go to the index. And you can see the index of this book is around what is the internal differences in religions. For example, in the Christian faith, there's the Catholics and the Protestants, right? There's liturgical worship, which is all formed that that kind of thing. And then there's the evangelical or Protestant, which is the happy clappy, as they call some people, right? So that is an internal difference. In Islam, it is things like the Sunni and the Shia Muslims, Islam, that is a internal difference inside a religion. And that is what they are teaching here. They're teaching the internal differences in Christianity, internal differences in Islam, internal differences in Hinduism, and internal differences in ATR, African Traditional Religion, internal differences in Buddhism. The reason we don't really cover Buddhism because not many of our students are Buddhists or follows Buddhism, and so we focus on the religions that most of our students represent. Because why do I say that? If I'm a Christian, I know Christianity because I was born a Christian. So therefore, I know the teachings, I know the principles, I know all that stuff. And it makes my studying so much easier, my studying and my understanding. For the Muslims, Islam is more what you grew up with, so you understand that better. So when you've got to answer questions, some of these things were taught to you in madrasa, in Sunday school. So you know some of these things. That is why I say to people, stick with your subject. Okay. The next one that I was saying that they spoke about is guidebook number 3. So you go to number 3, which is up here. Now this is the conflict thing. Religion in areas of conflict. Now this is the conflict in Sudan, conflict in Kuwait, conflict here. You'll see religious conflict in the state. What is a secular state? Inter-religious conflict. intra-religious conflict, and then they go into this religious conflicts in different parts of the world, conflict in South Africa, conflict in Africa, and then conflicts globally. And like I said, one year they use case scenarios from different countries globally. So one year in this question paper, there's gonna be the Palestine, Judaism, Islam conflict. Okay, so that is conflict in a religion. And then this last one, number 5, religious freedom, human rights, and responsibilities. We look at number 5, book number 5, which is here. And this is things like, what is religious freedom? What does religion say about human rights? What about religious tolerance? Like, for example, in the New South Africa, the reason they added religion studies, it used to be called biblical studies, and everybody had to study from the Bible, right? Even the Muslims in the schools had to learn biblical studies in the apartheid era. Since 1994, South Africa became a secular state. They were no longer a religious state, because now they said everybody should be recognized. That is why in any facility, if the Muslims want a prayer room, you should give it to them. If the Christians want a prayer room, you should give it to them. There should be religious freedom and rights everywhere, in every sector of society. And there should be tolerance towards each other and each other's religion. Then, I jumped too fast. Let's just see that. Yeah, I was there. And then practical involvement of different religions in promoting religious freedom. And it's people like the Baha'i International Community, Karuna, Gift of the Givers Foundation. Most of you guys know that, run by Islam. And then, of course, the Salvation Army, the church I was born up in and grew up in. Very proud that the Salvation Army features here. But anyway, so the Salvation Army, and how do they, all these places, how do they promote religious freedom and human rights and responsibilities? And that will be found lower down in the notes. Okay, so now let's go back to this. So that is paper 1. Let me remind you again. You, out of these 5 topics, you will choose 2 only to study. Okay? You choose 2, and that's what you focus on. Remember, the media is more general knowledge and the news and all of that. And I'll show you now what I mean. So let me open this paper again so that you can understand. Now we're done with paper 1. I mean, question 1, section 1. Here's a paper. It says this question paper consists of section A and B. Section A is compulsory. That's the short questions I showed you. Answer any 2 questions in section B. Let's just check. Everything's still okay? You can still see? You can still hear? All good? Thank you. Fantastic. Okay, you must read all the questions carefully. Start each question on a new page. The length of your answers must be in accordance with the marks allocated to each question. So we're going to look at it, and then you will see. Number the answers correctly according to the numbering system. What I say every night, when I do these introduction classes is, please, if they answered something number 4 and then number 7, and they cut out 5 and 6, don't you write on your book 5 and 6 and answer because it makes logical sense that it should be 5 and 6. You're going to get your stuff wrong. If they said number 4 and number 7, you write number 4 and number 7. Okay? You can point it out to the what you call it, to the invigilator, but I can promise you that they probably would have picked it up by then already, and it would have come to you, and the invigilator will tell you themselves. Right? So now we've gone through question 1, not gone through it, but now you will understand. You need to, the only way you're going to answer question 1 is by practice. Practicing doing a couple of, doing at least the minimum 5 past papers. Okay. Now, you see here the mark allocation. Identity, 4 marks. Now they say, in the context of religion, give a brief explanation of each of the following. What is identity? What is difference? What is ideology? So now usually 2 facts, 2 marks each. Now can we look at the memo? Let's see how they guide the people to mark the memo. Sorry, to mark your papers. Okay, I just want to. Okay, let's take that away. And then let's make this bigger. Oh, I don't. Oh, there. Okay. So this was now this, you see, please only number like this, 1.1 and B. Don't write the answer. You're going to make the lecturer, the marker tired, and then they're going to get very frustrated. Please don't frustrate the markers. 1 word. If they say 1 word, give 1 word. If they say only the letter, write only the letter. Okay? Right. Here's question 2. Right. Now they're showing there is 4 options here. So it is 1 per option. Okay? One mark gives you, so 4 marks, 4 facts. All right? And on identity. What is on identity? It is characteristics that define a religion. An example. Okay, so where do we find these answers? This is in study guide number 1. Let's go to, okay, is it internal references? Let me just see. Yeah, central teachings across religions, I think. Okay, it's all about identity. Let's just see. I'll tell you now where it is. Okay, no, this is something else. Not 3. Okay, I just want to show you this quickly. This revision package, guys, is exactly what I was telling you. It's a bit outdated. It's 2017, but you can still practice it. But it is a whole lot of past papers. This is a past paper. There's the memo. This is a past paper. There's the memo. This is a past paper. There's the memo. Here's about 10 to 15 past papers. I'll show you. Just section A. Only section A. So go through this book and then do the more current ones. You'll see here. I'll show you. Don't worry with the top there. This is just the section A. All of this is what I'm explaining to you now. Right. So yeah, this is November 2019. You see how far back it was. It wasn't updated since COVID. Okay, so there November 2020, 2019, there's the question paper. But you'll see the the questions are similar to the ones of before and after. There's the question paper and there's the answers. No, 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 not yet. Okay, here's question paper. Let's just see. Yeah, there is the answers. Then there's another question paper, May, June 2019. And then you get the answers afterwards. There we go. You see? So if you're gonna practice question section A, print this one or use that. I should put here study guide number 10 on this picture. On this picture, where is it now? Yeah, on this picture up there. Oh, it is there. Can you see the topic 1? No, man. This section A should be study guide 10. I can't fix it now. I'll have to fix this page. So the stuff on the left in blue, that is this here on the left in blue, all topics, section A. That is study guide. Come now. Study guide number 10. I'm trying to get it away, but I don't want to go away. This band here. Okay, so that's what I was showing you. I think it is this internal differences number 1, and I'm doubting myself. Let's just check here. That's internal differences. I'm still looking for the. Just give me a second. Okay, it isn't here. Then I must find something for it. I was looking for in the question paper this stuff here. It is somewhere, man. I'll find it again. And I'll let you guys know. So you see, there's one question. There they ask 2 unique features of all of them. Now, if you don't study Taoism or Hinduism, you're not going to be able to answer a question like this. So know a little bit of every religion, okay? But just like 2 facts, right? 2 facts, not like Taoism is the study or there's no supreme being. They follow a certain path. Tao means the path, the way. So that is a fact. And in Taoism, let me just show you here. Please guys, use your memos to help you with questions. That's 2.2. Yeah, 2.2.1. They give about a little bit about Islam. 2.2, yeah. Christians believe in the Trinity. This one, so let's just see. Number 1 was Islam. Number 2, Christianity. Number 3, Taoism. Number 4, Hinduism. So the more past papers you do or go through, use your memos to study that little bit. So, yeah, this is all about Islam, this first one. Here they gave 4 facts of Islam. Then they gave 4 facts of Christianity. Here's 4 facts about. Now listen, you know maybe nothing about Taoism. Now let's just read the memo and let's see what they say. So Tao, non-being, is the ultimate or the starting point of everything. It is bigger in a sense than being. Taoists should live life in harmony with the Tao. The word Tao means path. Chaos do not exert their will against the universe, but accept it. Nobody else wanted to come into the class, right?
No.
Okay. It is one of the only religions to have risen to martial arts, in particular, Nagia. I don't even know what kind of martial arts that is. Okay. All we know is Kung Fu. And what's the other one? Kung Sudo. That's all I know. And then 2.4 was the Hindus. So, can you see? Use past papers to study. If you can't find all the notes, use past papers, the memos to study. Asableef. Now, this first question is actually a nice question to answer. Remember, you must only answer 2 questions. So if I'm looking at this paper, I like question 2 because it's a little bit of all religions. So if I just know basic stuff of all the religions, then I will be able to answer this question. And that I will get the memos. Explain the difference between religious teaching and religious beliefs. That comes from religious teaching here. Why can't I find this? Maybe just see, maybe it's this and I'm not. Okay, it's nature of, yes, yeah. Central teachings, the nature of divinity, nature of the world, humanity, place and responsibility of humanity in the world, the origin and role of evil and how we overcome it, life after death. Okay, that's one. Be guided again. If you don't know where to find something, come to the indexes of the study guides like I'm doing now. Okay, let's go back to the question paper. What does African traditional religion teach about ancestors? So you would go to central teachings again. Central teachings across religions. Let's go to 5 and 6 and let's see what it shows. Page 5 and page 6. That's 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Here's that one. Yes. Where they ask you, what are these? Beliefs, myths, doctrines, and dogma, ideologies, parables. And there they explain it all. And then they go into the nature of divinity and all of that. Then internal, this one here, ATR. I'm going to make it bigger now. I just want to make sure it is in here. Yes, here is the ATR concept, page 26 to 32. Let me drag it down. 26. Let's see what it's done. This is about Hinduism. I don't know if it's before or after there. African traditional religions. And this is the 3 different tribes within ATR. The Amazulu Makosa in South Africa, Southern Africa, West Africa, the Yoruba, that's Nigeria side, and Ghana, and all that places. And then central teaching, also known as, AKA, I don't know. All right. Congo, here they give you the countries, Southwest Nigeria, South Africa, Congo, Central African region. Then they tell you, and their teachings, their beliefs, how they are governed and ruled. They have a hierarchy system. What are their teachings and beliefs? What are their practices? Now they are asking in this question, what does African traditional religion teach about the ancestors? So here, in this book, here's the teaching. Now, what do they teach about ancestors? Yeah, they believe that the ancestors are intermediaries between the supreme being and the living. Um, and then it carries on. So the teachings and beliefs also in Guni, yeah, people are rewarded by the ancestors for doing good on earth. So that's where, oh, sorry, they, if you disrespect the elderly and do bad things to God's creation, you can be punished in the form of misfortunes and sickness by the ancestors. So there we go. That is a question. But now, let me show you. Now, and it's 8 marks, eh? Now you're looking and you're thinking, yo, how am I going to remember where all these study guides are? Here's your answers in the memo. Study your memo. Okay? Study your memos. So work through a couple of past papers and you will learn a lot. Okay. Next, I want to go back to the topic question. Right. Because there's only 6 minutes left. Okay. Now let's look at paper 2. Same thing. Now, these are social issues. I haven't touched on social issues yet, so you haven't missed anything. So don't worry. The ones with a blue star, the light blue star, are the ones we've already covered. Okay? The ones that doesn't have a light blue star, we're going to start teaching in February. Okay? Because that is paper 2. So, social issues, we're going to focus on that. And we cover marriage and divorce, crime and corruption, teenage pregnancy. Central teachings in one religion, the nature of divinity in the world, the nature of humanity, the nature of life after death, all that kind of stuff. Internal differences, teaching, governance, and practices. Oh, let me tell you this. Paper 2 focuses on one religion, whereas paper 1 is broad across the religions, whereas paper 2 focuses on one religion. So if they're going to ask you internal differences, teaching, governance, and practice, they're going to ask you in the religion you have studied. They don't say in Islam or in Christianity or in Judaism. No, they say in one of the religions you have studied. And that is why you see here it says in one religion that you have studied. So I studied Christianity from a baby in Sunday school, if you think about it. Muslims would have studied it from madrasa. So one, and therefore it is easier to understand your own religion. That's why we don't really do Buddhism, Hinduism, all of that, because, but let me first ask, is there anyone in the room now that is Buddhist, Hindu, any of those religions that I mentioned, other than Christianity, African traditional, Islam, Judaism? Is there anybody else that has a religion, that are from a religion that you feel we're discriminating? Anybody? Please raise your hand now. Okay, thank you. So I have 3 minutes left. Very quickly, finishing this off. You'll see paper 2. This normative sources and hermeneutics, religion and science. We still coming to it. We haven't covered it yet. We're going to do it when we come back in February. When I say when we come back in February, you guys started like now. Whereas the people that started in August, they had a break from our school closed from the 15th of December. We opened 15th of January. and then they were writing mock exams. So we only formally starting our second part of the classes next week for everybody. Okay, this is just introduction to everyone. So I hope you understand this now. You don't need to understand it right now, but as long as you have an idea. In paper two, they're going to give you 5 questions. If you look at the top, they're going to give you 5 questions. And on the right hand side, you must answer 3. So you're answering 3 questions in both. But in paper one of the questions is the multiple choice short questions. There's no multiple choice and short questions in paper 2. And I want to say this to you. A lot of people say, your religion studies is a lot of work. Oh my gosh. But the key is, in actual fact, I have seen more people achieve much more in religion studies than any other subject. They achieve much better marks in religion studies. So somehow, even though they think it's a lot, they do well in the subject. That's what I want to end off with. And I want to ask, are there any more questions? Any questions? Anything that I may have missed? Mock exam could be right on a Sunday. Yes, you can. You must just arrange with me like the day before, because I need to know, like especially on a Sunday, when I go to church, obviously I can't. However, I will send it either before church or after church. And when I am then maybe relaxing with my family, then I must just know, so that, look, I'll have the paper. I've got the papers on the phone. I can just quickly send it to you. So yes, you can. All right. Anytime you need to. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Any other questions from anyone else? Otherwise, I will love and leave you. I'm just going to stop the recording.